Every now and then there comes a player that completely changes how his position is played, scouted and taught. And for the current generation of players entering their prime years, Nikola Jokic might be that player. However, there's another player on the Rockets roster that has the chance to become as good as Jokic, and his name is Alperen Şengün, a young center primed to be the next big man of the NBA. See, the Joker skillfully mixed the great passing abilities of basketball players like Vlade Divac, Yao Ming, Bill Walton, and Arvydas Sabonis, with the strong and assertive playing style of Kevin McHale, Patrick Ewing, and Tim Duncan. This unique combination is truly remarkable and stands out in basketball history. I mean, there weren't many players literally averaging a triple-double for as long as Jokic did. But we're not here to talk about the Joker's impact on the NBA. We're here to talk about his potential successor and currently a follower, Alperen Şengün. Because of what we're seeing right now, the Houston Rockets' third-year center and a Turkish sensation is next up when it comes to European players dominating the NBA, since in the current era, that's what's slowly starting to happen. People have already started calling Şengün Baby Jokic, simply because he plays a lot like Jokic and shares his passing skills. He gained attention in the international basketball scene by being the MVP of the Turkish League in 2021. His stats were impressive, with 19.2 points, 9.4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.7 blocks per game. He shot at amazing percentages of 65% for field goals, 19 for three-pointers, and 81 for free throws. And what's the best of all is that the Turkish Tower hasn't forgotten to mention that Jokic is his inspiration for having a well-rounded game. He talked about it recently on Paul George's podcast, Podcast P, where he said,
Jokic is that not social media guys and other things. He just care about basketball and family, But which is he's a great guy and he's a European. Every after the game he's coming to me saying good job Alpi, great job, keep her up, always giving me good talk, which is great for me. I not trying to play like him, but our games is similar.
Talking about similarities, watching him play, there are quite a few things you can see Jokic do that he does. Much like the Joker, Şengün dominates operation out of the high post, and his ability to find cutting guards and slipping into the short roll is great. For his age, he's very good at leveraging his high-volume playmaking. When doing dribble handoffs, Şengün can handle the ball well on the outside using one hand. His tall 6'11" frame helps him create space from the defender and his teammate when switching. After that, he smoothly passes the ball to other Rockets guards who are coming off screens. But mind you, Jokic can do all this too, for far longer than his young student. The only difference is that the Turkish center is achieving it faster in his career compared to when Jokic started in the league. He reached the 20 points per game mark a season earlier than Jokic did as well. But he isn't only a Jokic copycat, he manages to thrive in different ways too. This season, he's gotten better at shooting from the long mid-range area. Last season, he made 32% of these shots, with a total of 19 attempts, but this season, he's improved to 48%, with 40 attempts. Because he draws double teams, it creates more space for Rockets players to move around, and he takes advantage of this by making accurate passes to set up easy scores for his teammates. This comes especially handy when Rockets cutters are in the game. The numbers that compare how the team performs with him on the court versus off the court highlight his huge influence on the Rockets' offense and defense. A plus 4.8 difference, 4.9 more points scored per possession, plus 3% improvement in effective field goal percentage, minus 3.9% less chance of opponents getting offensive rebounds, and minus 8.2 fewer free throw attempts for the opposing team. As you could probably guess, these percentages are huge. Even last year, when the Rockets were still under the unfortunate hand of Steven Silas, and they had the worst record in the NBA for 3 years in a row, Şengün still showed a lot of potential. In his second year in the league, he became the first 20-year-old center to have an assist rate higher than 20%. In his first year, he had a 19% assist rate, in his second year it was 21%, and now he has an impressive 26% assist rate. If the trend continues, so will his on-court efficiency. What's also fair to say is that Sengun is a better athlete than Jokic. At least that's what it looks like on the court. Much of it is thanks to his lighter frame and way more lateral mobility on the block. This also showed last year when you look at the total dunks made. Sengun reached 77 dunks in the past season, while Jokic only dunked 21 times. Then we've got total blocks made, where Sengun also emerged victorious. He had a whopping 70, while Jokic had 47. Based on how things are looking right now, Sengun could probably surpass Jokic's potential when it comes to rim running and shot blocking. That is, if he continues to stay healthy and in shape. As we mentioned, when you look at the numbers per 36 minutes of play, Sengun's stats are a bit better than Jokic's when he was the same age. In his second year, Sengun averaged 18.4 points, 10.9 rebounds, and 4.8 assists per 36 minutes, with a 59.9% accuracy in shooting while using 21.4% of the team's plays. When Jokic was 20, he had 16.5 points, 11.6 rebounds, and 3.9 assists per 36 minutes, with a 58.2% accuracy in shooting, using 19.9% of the plays. But regardless, this doesn't mean Sengun is going to become as good as Jokic. The Joker is a beast of his own, who has already got one championship and clearly plays like he wants more. It's not exaggerating to say that Sengun has the skills to be nearly as good, and this could make him the top big man in the game when Jokic gets older. Right now, some people are saying there's a strong argument for Sengun to be the second best big player in the NBA. He's currently putting up his best career stats with averages of 21.7 points, 8.9 rebounds, and 4.8 assists per game, while making 54% of his shots. Now, when it comes to the eye test, it definitely looks like Sengun has that dog mentality that often separates stars from superstars. Let's take his team's recent game against the Bulls for example. To everyone's surprise, Sengun scored 0 points in the first half. However, he didn't back down. Knowing they would lose the game if he didn't flip the switch, he went ballistic and ended the game with 25 points on 11 of 19 shooting. He wasn't only a shooting machine though, he also grabbed 9 rebounds and made 5 assists to keep the team's offense going strong. This amazing performance was the 10th time in his previous 11 games that Sengun has scored 20 points or more, and he even had 3 incredible games where he scored 30 points. His performance went from the worst in his career to the best in just one half of a game. But there's one more thing that helped Sengun tremendously. The Rockets changed their coach from Silas to Ime Udoka, who is known to be the best motivator in the NBA. This has made a big difference in Sengun's defense. Last season, his defensive rating was 116.6, but this season it improved to 109. That's even better than Jokic this season, by 0.5. Last year, the Rockets were ranked 28 in defense, but now they're 6th. This change is because of Udoka, who insists on full effort and focus on the defensive end, and clearly this mentality paid off. Luckily, the young Turkish center loves his coach's style. He admitted, "I love tough coaches. Sometimes I lose my concentration. I feel like when I'm working with coaches who get mad, I think that makes me wake up. It's good for me." But there are still some areas Sengun has to improve in. One area is on the perimeter. Jokic has a career average of 35% from the 3-point line. Sengun is only shooting 28% from 3 this season. However, considering how much Udoka has helped him become a better defender, it feels like there's no limit to what the Turkish star can achieve. Only a few players can determine how far they can go and where their ceiling is, and Sengun, like Jokic, is part of this exclusive group.